Alright, so as you guys saw from the beginning of this video, I got the GKtech Dual handbrake or dual caliper setup. So it has both the calipers, the master cylinder, the brackets, the dual caliper brackets in here. This is the little cage to hold the master cylinder, obviously the handbrake itself, and all the lines, brake pads, axle spacers. So I already put in the bracket for the handbrake itself, the actual physical handbrake, which is right here. So this is where this mounts. So if you just take the shifter off real quick. There we go, pop this thing out. You can see down here, right here, you know, along the sides. Let me actually shine a light in there real quick so I can show you. So you can see that metal, that piece of metal, this bracket, just bolts around the stock boot basically. And you don't have to cut anything, it fits right over here. This sits back into place, all the screws are in, so it looks really nice. I like that, I like the full interior look of it. So next I'm probably, actually I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm either going to try and mount the calipers or I'm gonna put the handbrake on this bracket. So I'll decide that and you will see that in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the calipers first before I do the physical handbrake and the master cylinder itself. So you gotta take your axle nut off, your caliper bracket, and your rotor off first. Obviously you gotta take your cotter pin and this little cover out. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so side note, I got my hub off of the passenger side, and it turns out I actually have a Z32 hub. I'm pretty sure it's a Z32 hub. Stock S14 hubs don't have this spot for an emergency brake cable. I'm pretty sure this is Z32, but the problem with that is the dual caliper bracket has this outline for the hub to sit in. So this right here is supposed to sit in here. Well, since this piece is on here, it will not sit flush. It hits at the top right here. So what I'm gonna do is I marked where this piece sits in here, and I'm just gonna grind that lip down so it sits flush. Alright, so let me show you what I did. It's not pretty, I'm not proud of it, but I had to grind down the lip right here like I was talking about to compensate for this being here, because this usually is not here. I'll show you on my other hub when I take it out. But now, this fits perfectly over top, or the back I should say. So there you go. As you can see, there's no gap now. Now let me throw this together. Alright, so you can throw in your axle spacer now. Throw it on right here. Mine's the 5mm. That's what they recommended, GKtech. Then you're gonna put this over here, and you're gonna put the hub over this and use the extended bolts they've provided. So the Wilwood calipers, when you get them, these holes right here to mount them to the dual caliper bracket are 9mm, and the studs on the actual bracket are 10mm. So if you try and put it on, it doesn't fit. So you do have to drill out these holes, these two holes, to get it to work with this caliper bracket. So I'm just using a carbide bit, and I'm just making them a little bit bigger. What's up guys? So it's the next day. My camera battery actually died last night while I was working on the 240. So I just went ahead and finished up putting the calipers on. So let me show you right here. So I got the caliper on this side. Got the caliper on this side. Everything's bolted up. I will go through and show you real quick what I did in case you want to use this video as like a how-to. So I think the last thing I showed was me putting the caliper and rotor on. I'm not sure, but so to mount this caliper on, you actually have to put the rotor and the caliper on at the same time, because the studs on the back that they mount to, it's not bolted in from the back, they're studs. So you have to slide the caliper over the studs while you put the rotor on at the same time. I think I showed that yesterday. If I did, you'll know what I mean when you watch that. So after you put the caliper and the rotor on, you can go ahead and put your other caliper on. So when you get this kit, you see these spacers right here where my finger is? Those come on the caliper brackets, and basically the reason for those is since you're putting the dual caliper bracket behind the hub, you're pushing everything out, the hub and the rotor, about, I think it's 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. So you have to use those spacers to compensate for how much you're pushing the rotor out. So that's basically all that is. So just caliper. I think I just showed you, you just saw the nuts back here for the Willwood caliper. We can just tighten those with a wrench. These are actually extended hub bolts or wheel bearing bolts, whatever you want to call them, that GKtech supplies. Since you're adding this, like 1/2 inch behind the hub, you need longer bolts. But they supply those, so you don't have to get them, which is awesome. They supply everything for this kit. I'm pretty sure that's basically it. I got my handbrake in yesterday. It's not fully bolted down yet, but as you can see right here, it's mounted on the mounting bracket. The bolts under here aren't tight yet, but I mean it's where it's gonna sit. Matches my shifter, which is cool. My e-brake button, floor mats. That's why I got the purple. So yeah, I'm today gonna run the brake lines from there to the calipers, tighten this up, bleed it, and hopefully test it out today, see how it works. I don't know where I'm gonna run the brake lines from the inside to the calipers, like how I'm gonna get them outside the car to the calipers. I don't know if there's any holes like under the rear seats or whatnot. If there's not, I'll probably have to drill some holes. But yeah, I'm gonna start working on that, and I'll get back to you guys when I find how I'm gonna route them. Okay, so I got my back seat out. So what I think I'm gonna do actually is, this is the stock seatbelt buckle. And if you take the bolt out for the stock seatbelt buckle, there's actually already a hole right here. It does go all the way through, but it gets really, really tiny down there. The hole kind of closes up. So I'm just gonna drill this hole out so I can fit the lines through it. Same thing over here. I'm just gonna take the seatbelt buckle out. I already did actually, over here. There's another hole right there. So I'm just gonna run the lines through these two holes. Like I said, drill them out, make them a little bigger so the lines fit, and then run them to each caliper, and then run each one of these lines up here to a T. So I will show you that in a minute. Okay, so update. I drilled the holes out. You can see right here. right there. I just sprayed some black paint over them. So there are two little nubs right here, I guess you could call them. It's like a threaded insert right here. I just ended up cutting them off on both sides, and I just used a carbide bit and opened those holes up a little. So the brake lines do fit through there now, but as you can see, I don't have them in there. And the reason for that is I think GKtech accidentally sent me the wrong brake lines. I think they sent me one for a different chassis on accident, because they do not fit. They aren't long enough, I should say. They do fit, they do thread into the caliper, they thread into the T-fitting, but for some reason, when you run them up into the car right here, it meets up around right here. This is where the T-fitting would be inside the car, and the lines aren't long enough to meet at the T-fitting. I don't know why. My friend Kevin, he has the same lines, and his are routed even longer than this, I'm pretty sure, and they fit up fine to the T-fitting inside the car. But for some reason, they do not work for mine. I'm trying to get in contact with them right now, see if either they can send me new lines or if they have a suggestion for this. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna pick up this video again. I don't know how long it's gonna be till I get new lines or what I'm gonna do. So yeah, that's kind of a dilemma at the moment. So anyway, I guess I'll pick this back up whenever I get new lines or when they have a suggestion for me. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Alright, so I got the new lines. It's been like 3 weeks now, but I finally got the new lines. I have them right here, one right here, and then they both run up to a T up here, and then they go into the car right here. I'm gonna put some just like electrical tape or something right there, just so it doesn't rub on the body. They ended up being the same lines, but I just put the T outside the car instead of having, you know, to find new lines or whatnot. So let me bring it down. I already bled it and everything. Let me bring it down and I'll show you what it looks like inside the car. Okay, so inside the car, the line is attached to the master right there. Runs along the side of my center console. Around here, back here, it goes through this hole like I showed you before. I just put some tape on it so it stays there, and then I'm just gonna put my seat on top of it just to hold it in place right here. Alright, so I got it outside so I can show you. So here's the handbrake. Like I said, the line's right here. Runs along the side, the passenger side seat. Goes right under there, under the seat. Back outside, I got the rear seat in. You can see. Sounds good. Alright, so unfortunately, I still think I have to bleed the dual calipers, because if you watch right here, it just slows the car down. Doesn't actually lock up the wheels, so I think I still gotta bleed them, but that's no big deal. At least everything's in and everything's working. Alright guys, so as you can see, I still need to bleed the hydro a little bit, but that's all good because I got it all set up. I already showed you that. I already showed you the hydro right here, where the lines run, showed you where they are outside the car. So I'm just gonna end this video here. Now, I'm not gonna make any promises, but next video should be pretty cool. I'm gonna be hanging out with somebody a lot of you probably know. I'm not gonna give anything away now just in case, you know, it doesn't go through or whatnot, but yeah, I would definitely stick around for the next video because it should be really, really cool. So I will I'll see you guys on the next one, and you know, make sure you watch it.